quick?
Yep. What is up, everyone? Welcome into the Warzone Sports Network Roundtable, where we talk about whatever topics we want to talk about and whatever topics you want us to talk about, unless you bring up Drew Lock. I was going to put the music right then and there, but it hasn't finished uploading to the thing yet, so I got to come up with another joke on the fly. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Let's get ready to rumble. Step into the war zone. 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 Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone. Hey yo, it's Phil Flames. I'm with Mike on the mic and Joe Morley. About to bring you more heat. Welcome to the war zone. You can have a floor seat. Watch them on your iPhone. Watch them on your Galaxy. It's a sports debate show. Straight up out of SoCal. Gather around the laptop. Friday nights it goes down. And we on the radio. Coming to your locale. Got into the third round. Better bring the smoke now. Step into the war zone. 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 Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone. Step into the 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 war zone. Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone.
I was air drumming, but that got really tiring. That's a long being shorten that thing. Anyways, this is like a half watch party, half roundtable talk. So we're going to start off with the first topic, and I'll let you guys go ahead and start weighing in on Taysom Hill versus Jameis Winston. The Saints and Jaguars are playing as we speak. I think Jameis Winston is the popular belief, but does anyone have any case for Taysom Hill?
I have a small case for him. I think, and it's football.
I have a case for him. I have a case for him. Sorry, Jay, to cut you off.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look at your screen. That's my case for him. He just threw a dime. Anyways, continue.
Who's that? Oh, Jason.
That's
Winston, there, right? Yeah, that's Winston.
Opposite argument then.
Yeah, he just threw a dime. Was that a touchdown?
It was Callaway.
That's the second touchdown of the night for Callaway too. He's a guy to really look out for. But see, Callaway might be the reason why you stick with Jameis Winston, because my whole argument for Taysom Hill is if you don't really have that many guys that catch the ball, let's just work with the running game with Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara. Let's just have the quarterback run. Let's try to play the offense that is just we're running the ball in every different way, try to stop us every now and then, play action down the field, and let Taysom throw something to an open receiver. That's the only thing. Until week 6 or 7 when Michael Thomas is back, and if he's not doing as good as we like, then you bring in Jameis Winston to kind of save the season if they're not doing as good as they like. But I'm all for Jameis too.
Mike, real quick. Jameis Winston's going to be the starting quarterback. He just dropped 2 times, in case you didn't know. This is playing all over New Orleans right now. Everybody's just like, breaking news. Jameis Winston, 2 dimes to Callaway. 2 of them. They're just floating out of the air. In this, here's the thing. You get the eye surgery done, you get Sean Payton on your side, and boom, there it is. I could make a case for Taysom Hill being effective and running and rugged football and playing defense, but for fantasy purposes, since I don't care about the Saints at all, I definitely want Jameis Winston in there. I could care less if the Saints don't win any games. I want Jameis Winston slinging it, going 30 for 35, 5,000 yards. Boda, what do you got on the quarterback situation with the Saints?
Off the gun, this is going to sound like one of the dumbest things I've ever said. Jameis Winston, play style-wise, let me preface that, is not that much of a departure from Drew Brees, essentially, right? Slightly more mobile. Realistically, going to Taysom Hill seems like you're completely changing up the play scheme. I would trust someone with a little bit more experience like Jameis Winston, which is, once again, also horrifying to say. But I think it's got to be Jameis.
Okay.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Okay, I'm in a chat where somebody just was like, "Yeah, me Drew Brees." I don't know. We got Drew Brees. We got Jameis Winston. Okay, we got a sound check.
I guess sports scoop on the air.
I do hear what you're saying though. Like, I definitely think that the offense might actually, I'm gonna join Boda here. Could be a bit of an upgrade to what we've seen from not Drew Brees Hall of Famer, but what we've seen Drew Brees in 2019, he was falling apart. So I do agree that Winston could be maybe even not better. Like it feels dirty to say this out loud. It feels weird or wrong or like you're saying the dumbest thing that anybody's ever heard. But like the end of Drew Brees wasn't that great. That's all I'm saying.
No.
And I think Jameis Winston could flourish with Sean Payton.
Also, if we're talking about Jameis Winston, and I will die on this, I've said this so much, but having a year to just learn and rest and apparently get LASIK, but learn and rest with Sean Payton and Drew Brees can only do good things for who you are as a player.
Yes.
Right?
I agree. I completely agree.
And it's
I
not
think
like
he has the tools to do that.
it's not like it's been a couple weeks or one off season. It's now going on like a year and a half working with these guys. He's got to have improved a little bit at least.
Yeah. I can give you a long list of guys who sat behind Brett Favre and went on and had good careers. Hasselbeck, Mark Brunell, Aaron Rodgers. All of these guys got to sit behind a legend in Brett Favre. How we doing? Sports Scoop?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing what? Your voice is deeper than mine. You're like 13. What the hell?
Yeah.
I gotta like, speak from my chest.
I can stay on for about 10 minutes, but I had to hop on and say what's up. Gotta get on the shows. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Good.
Who do you got in the Taysom Hill-Winston battle? Like, who do you want to see a quarterback?
I mean, I think if the Saints want to win games, I would go Winston.
Okay.
Taysom Hill. I mean,
I like that.
It's not even like it's really not trying to disrespect Taysom Hill. I think he's simply been put in this role for so long, this kind of gadget role, where going back to being a quarterback will just not work. And I think Jameis Winston is apparently, he said it in front of Dak, he's the best quarterback, or he works the hardest. So I think Saints fans are backing that he actually works the hardest. And I mean, again, like you said, Sean Payton's a fantastic coach. Michael Thomas, if you have him, is obviously a beneficial wide receiver, and having Alvin Kamara to just hand the ball off to, you know. And Jameis Winston, we know he has that upside of throwing 30 plus touchdowns. That may come with a ton of interceptions, but you know, I guess he's still getting that production. So I would go Jameis Winston. I don't really think it's close. Again, we'll have to see kind of what happens. But as the season gets closer, it seems like Winston may be the main guy. I think the quarterback kind of conversation, like where it's tight, will be the Drew Lock, Bridgewater one. But besides that, I think it's Winston.
This is like where my point comes into play, is because I like Winston. I think he can be the better. I think he is a better quarterback, but you wouldn't want to set him up to fail, because Winston's a guy I like to take risks, and when you have no one to really throw it to, and you add that risk taking, kind of personality that Jameis Winston has. Now he's throwing tight balls to Marcus Callaway against good cornerbacks. Like, I don't know who their schedule is, but they're going against like Jalen Ramsey and these top 10 cornerbacks. They're not getting much space. He's really throwing the ball to? He likes throwing the ball downfield, which is perfect for a guy like Michael Thomas and Traquan Smith. But if you don't have those guys available, a few weeks in the beginning of the season, who is he really throwing it to other than the other team?
Okay, I'm so sorry. I got my one taken and I now have to go. I'm so sorry. I'll be on again. Thank you guys for having me for this short time. Enjoy the show. All right, I'll see you guys.
See ya.
All right, this is a good time to transition into the other topic, which is someone named Mike on the Mike Sports Podcast. Here. What about the other QB battle going on tonight, Minshew versus Lawrence? Who you guys got winning that one?
I thought a battle. It's a battle. Oh. It's like if I see me and the ant are in a battle. It's not a battle.
Is it Chad Henne there? Or is it? Yeah, it's Chad Henne's backing up there. He's third string. Give me Henne.
The wild card pick.
Right.
Pick.
Wait, then who's the backup for the Chiefs now? I thought Henne
Matt
was
Moore,
with Kansas.
Right?
They don't need.
Is he? No, Matt Moore is like he's like coaching in my brother's actual youth football.
I thought Chad Henne was on the Chiefs.
Down the road for me.
I might be wrong. I'll look that up and I'll get back to you guys.
Didn't Chad Henne win a playoff game when Mahomes got put in a headlock?
I don't think that happened. No, I don't think that happened. We should move on.
3rd and 13 or something like that. I think
it didn't happen. CJ Beathard.
CEH gets so much hype. He better duel as a freaking quarterback. Y'all out here draft him in the second round and crap.
He had an ankle injury, and then I was like looking at it, and it was like Darrell Williams was actually getting reps with the first team. I was like, oh, that kind of hurts my CEH argument, but maybe just a preseason thing. Who knows?
Could be.
We'll see. They did draft him in the first round.
Anyways, if you guys are tuning in, we have used up one topics we had prepared for tonight. So go ahead and drop anything random in the comment section below. We could, Tony, I think you had something else you want to talk about, wasn't there? Other than the Saints Jaguars?
There's many things I want to talk about. Well, they just put in Taysom Hill, and it threw me off my game. I was like, dude, leave Winston in. He's throwing the ball like crazy right now. Let's go with this. So during the draft, this came up. I'm always talking about Favre, but there's like a new movement to like let kids play Pop Warner, like not let them play tackle football till they're 14 years old. I don't know. Like I have kids. They don't play any sports, but like my brother has a kid playing tackle football. Like, I don't know. Can't we like get the technology to where the kids don't have to have a gap that long in
Have you
like,
seen those
like I got,
7-year-olds?
they are like, some of those hits are vicious and crazy, but like, I don't want it being glorified, the knockout hits that these kids are taking, but I don't know, like your freshman year of high school, you're finally playing tackle football. I think that would hurt the product at some point for us. Am I just being a jerk and selfish? Like, should I be more worried about the
I'll
kids?
be honest with you, Tony. This is one of the few things I probably disagree with. I do think that they should wait until high school to let kids play tackle football. And that's something that I'm pretty firm on. Just because of my experience with football, I can count 4 diagnosed concussions and 7, with just, I have the symptoms, I didn't go to the doctor. And that's
I've
just
had
like
enough
major
concussions.
ones.
I can't count.
That's just the major ones.
Same.
That's just the major ones that you really notice. There's so many smaller concussions that football players probably don't even know that they've had in their lifetime. And having a kid play for 10 extra years leading up to it, it piles up. And while a kid's brain is developing, we don't know the science behind it and how much damage it actually does. So I'm not going to let, when I have kids one day, I'm not going to let them play tackle until high school.
Well, why not in that case?
Or they're going to play baseball. That's the other option.
in that case, because obviously the league is moving more to like a rugby tackle anyway. Why not, instead of playing flag football, at least let them play rugby early? Which I know it's like not the best compromise in the world, but at least you're learning to hit properly, right?
Yeah, there's some credence to that. I could definitely see that. I had concussions too, and it was, part of the reason I had him in hockey and I had him in football. So it was like, I don't know. I get it. It's weird. I don't know if I'd want my kids playing football. And that's why I felt like it was being selfish. And I like to hear the opinion that somebody else is like, hey, kids should Go ahead.
Well, I don't have kids, but my mind now, if I did have kids, I wouldn't mind them playing football because, this with kids, I think it's tough because you talk about your kids. I heard it's a whole different experience, but just general thinking about it, like you don't know how long you're going to live, so like the whole theory behind like why we shouldn't play football and things like that, or, contact sports or these concussions. I know I've had a lot too. Everyone here said we had one of them count. But, you don't know if you're going to live that long anyway. So why don't you just enjoy your life now? When I was a kid, I was playing all kinds of sports. I had the time of my life playing. So I was like, literally my childhood, the best part of my childhood, like high school and below, was playing sports, football, basketball, baseball, whatever it was. And if you take that away, it's like, dang, like that kind of sucks. So that's my view on it. Is like, if I have kids and they want to play football, I'm happy to let them play football. I think kids should have fun and play. Like, what are we really preserving, Like, what? I mean, yeah, some guys are going to live to be 16, 17. You want them to be there mentally, but that's just my weird take on it. Like, a lot of people I know, they died at 16, 17, 18, and that's terrible. We should stop that first and then worry about the rest. But that's kind of my weird take on it. It's like, you got to enjoy the moment. You got to enjoy that, like, what I'm saying? Like, every second. Like, that's just me, though. I do get Mike, though. Science. I like science.
I think we have different mindsets, and I think if you asked me the same question while I was playing football, I probably would have the same opinion as that. But if I'm 65 and the doctor comes and tells me that football shortened my life by even like a year or 5 years, I'm probably going to be really upset and have some regrets.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget something. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have done
No, not now. We're too young for all that, Jay. Not now.
And I don't think he's talking about taking it away or anything. I took this down a way too. Let's go to something that's a little more fun to talk about.
We did go towards death. I mean, to be fair, like I don't think any of us on this screen have to worry about it on the magnitude that the guys do on that screen that are playing right now in a football game, because
For sure.
their football life is about 10 years longer, or even 15, 20 in some cases longer than any of ours, and they've taken 100 times the amount of hits. You know what I mean? So they
By
really
Von Miller
are the ones that
guys.
should be talking about this topic more than anyone.
Definitely. Let's switch it up. Let's get out of this room. We have SOS here. We have a resident New York Giants fan in the house. Let's just talk about Danny
Let's
Dimes.
go.
It's always a fun topic, right?
I mean,
How
watching
you-
Daniel Jones is fun, I guess. If you're not a Giants fan, it's fun.
It is fun. We talked about it briefly during the thing where I was like, how come this is what I don't like about the internet? I can't find any positive highlights of Daniel Jones, but yet every time, yes, it's just like memes.
I
He was in
requested
the
that
Madden
Madden
cover. How
I
is
wanted
being
that
on the
one.
Madden cover not a highlight?
But where's
It is
the,
a
like,
highlight that turned into a low light.
Where's the
You stop it. Go ahead,
Where's the
sorry.
video footage of him dropping it into the bucket, to Slayton or, Galladay or somebody? Like, I don't see any of those videos.
I couldn't
only
find
see
that
him.
one. I couldn't find that one. I looked.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, that is true. Jay was alluding to it. He ran for 70 yards before he fell on that play. Like, that was a
Yeah.
highlight play.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
I
you
mean,
just
it was
stop
pretty
the tape
fast.
right there. Just stop the tape right before it fumbles it, and that's the highlight. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
No one has to know what happened. That's like those basketball players that have those highlight tapes where they're doing these crazy crossovers, these crazy layups, but they miss a layup. But you don't see the missed layup. You just see like the move that got him there and the little like jelly that up until he actually shoots a shot. It's just a Daniel Jones highlight reel right there.
Like your Max Preps highlight reel where there's plays cut off, and you're like, what happened in the rest of that one?
Oh, he traveled. They called it travel on that bucket. It looked nice.
But it looked real cool.
Oh, man. Taysom Hill's taking care of business right now. But anyways, Daniel Jones, how many weeks of bad football before you would yank him? Same old sports. I've got a 6-week marker until Mike Glennon's in the game. What do you think?
I would just play him for the whole season.
No matter what? You're
No
sitting there
matter
with
what, just
10
keep him in.
touchdowns, 14 interceptions, you're keeping him in?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Full
if our
support.
team's doing horrible, which I don't expect us to be great, but if we're doing horrible, then I guess you put Glenn in. But if we're sitting around 500, which is where I expect us to be, just leave Daniel Jones in.
No, God, please, no, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say Mike Glennon? I just heard New York. They just lost their minds. They were like, please. Mike, you have to let Danny play the whole year no matter how bad it is. You can't pick him that high and not just like leave him out there, like, and see if he turns the corner.
It's a super fair point.
Like, you have to know, like, at the end of the year, we can either win with him or we can't win with him. But like,
I know
the
it's
idea of
what-
putting in Mike Glennon just sounds terrible.
I know
That's-
Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
You
James.
sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm honored. So that's the thing, right? Is you either play him all year, right? And if you have great success with him, awesome. You now have a guy you can work with. If you don't, you're now in a position to get a guy next year who could replace him. It's
Agreed.
kind of a win-win situation for them,
It's a little
especially
sneaky.
with the quarterback class coming in next year.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I should have said my
That's
point
nice.
first because you completely just discredited what I was going to say.
That's
How
the
dare
Josh
you be
Rosen.
polite?
But like Mike Glennon is there in case of injury. He's a competent backup in case of injury. But as long as Mr.
Competent?
Dimes is out there, like he knows the playbook. He can read. Like,
I feel like
Can
is that nickname? Is that like purposely facetious or like Danny Dimes? Is that like, are we making fun of him when we call him that? I never even knew. Like, it's so like Danny Dimes. Is that? I feel like
Well,
making fun of him anyway.
he came out and surprised people at first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Tampa Bay
The
game.
first couple weeks. Yeah. he
Yeah.
was pretty okay. And I think that's where he got kind of that nickname, and then he started to show why everyone was so shocked when he was selected so high.
I like Daniel Jones. So I think you should give him a shot the whole season. Hopefully he plays great, and New York Giants, the football team there, make a a playoff appearance. I don't say run, but hopefully they make a playoff appearance and do something.
I think the Giants and the Washington football team are sneakily in the conversations for Deshaun Watson, especially. Aaron Rodgers a little less because Aaron Rodgers is going to dictate where he goes, and we know that he's heading west or he's trying to head somewhere, a destination, not a Super Bowl winning team. And Russell Wilson, if he is going to be up for grabs, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. That all depends on how bad the Seattle offensive line and defense is again this year. I think Washington and New York both should be going hard at those guys because they are a QB away, and especially an elite QB away from being a contending team, in my opinion. I think that defense is ready to go. Now they've got weapons, and if Saquon's healthy, you don't really need more weapons than that. I feel like the Giants are going to be right there. If they are moving on from Danny Dimes after this season, he would need to be amazing to earn my belief back in him. He has to be amazing. He'd be really good.
I missed what you said at the beginning. You said something about Aaron Rodgers or bringing into those situations.
You're going to play a soundbite, aren't you?
I know. I swear to God, I'm not. I was watching Taysom Hill get crushed, and he looks terrible. And Jameis Winston is out here. He's the real Dimes.
No, I was just saying that New York and Washington should be sneaky teams to go after those guys that are going to be available. The big names.
Same thing with Watson. Like, if you can figure out a way, like, even if you have to trade some of your young talent to bring in a guy like Deshaun Watson, the Giants' defense seems to be good or headed in the right direction last year. And then this year you have Washington, where we're all thinking could be a great defense. Why wouldn't you want one of those guys? They're both slight upgrades from Taylor Heinicke and Danny Dimes.
Taylor Heinicke to Houston. Confirmed.
Doesn't matter wherever he goes. He could be playing for the Roughnecks in the XFL League, and I'm a fan.
I'm pretty sure he did play in the XFL League.
He probably did. He definitely probably did.
Do you guys think Deshaun Watson's playing this season? Like, if he goes to New York, do you think he could be in Giants this season anywhere?
No.
They're going
to. I think there's so much tape to clear up.
Well, because when he goes to court in February after the season, he's probably done for the next season for sure, right? Like, he's not playing next season for sure. This is the only season he has a chance to probably play until like 2023-4, right? From what I'm hearing.
If he's holding out with the Texans, and then nobody really wants to trade for him because they don't know what happens in 23-24, it's kind of like why? Like, why? If I was a GM, I wouldn't be going after him right now until I knew what his future looked like.
And is he a top 10 quarterback in 2025 after not playing for 4 years? Is that, like,
just wait for that debate.
This just seems like hypothetical of nowhere.
I mean, by then Justin Herbert's going to be in the top 3, so Hubert, we're calling him Hubert.
I'm not even mad at that. He might be top 3 at the end of this year. It's possible.
Ooh.
Well, this is like the all these situations. I feel like whatever's going on when it's outside of the field of play, like I feel like these leagues just need to intervene and like, hey, just you're out. Like, you're indefinitely just suspended. We don't know when you're coming back. We need clarification because it is sort of a weird situation. Like, he's showing up, but these charges are like super serious. So like, I definitely can't see him playing this year on an NFL team. And like Boda said, I'm not trade. Why would I give up assets, whether it's draft picks or whatever? I'm not I wouldn't trade for him at all.
I agree with that.
I don't understand why he's not on the exempt list already. Like,
I guess they're waiting.
What do you need to do?
That's the only thing.
To get on the exempt list. The only thing that could be is if video came out. That's the only thing worse that could happen right now.
It's football. He's a top 15 quarterback. You know how that kind of goes.
There it is.
I don't think the Texans won't field him, will they? Even if he is cleared to go, I think he's getting put in a T-shirt on game day.
I need Urban Meyer. I'm sorry, I got to interject here. I need Urban Meyer to start taking some mental notes because they're moving the ball with Travis Etienne in the game. Put him in. I don't want to see this James Robinson run 3 times and punt nonsense. Get it to this man. He wears that cool tape across the back of his arms. I don't know what it does, but it looks cool. Like,
you don't get like that skin burn, right, from the turf?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Turf tape.
He says sure.
Yeah.
No, as long as it looks good, I don't care the function of it.
Well, it's cool on Kamara. Doesn't he have it too?
It's good for running backs because
Kamara has everything.
Against their skin, the ball has a little bit more grip than against sleeves. So the running backs like to wear that turf tape to protect their elbows from the turf more than the sleeves.
Or what about that new like flex tape? Have you guys seen that? You put it on.
That's like
You
a
put it
brace.
on like a thing. It's like a
Yeah.
brace, but
That's like
it's
an
like
alternative to a knee brace, yeah. Or
you put it on too
Oh,
tight, and then
I know
like
what you're
my
talking
nipple,
about. Okay.
my armpit, like it just doesn't look good. It's made for athletes. It's not
Yeah,
made
it
for
is.
me at all. Like,
The
it just
Dwight
doesn't-
Howard shoulder.
I wouldn't look right.
those Dwight Howard.
What
Yeah.
show did I join?
Welcome to the Warzone Sports Network.
We've
Harden
already talked
played.
about Tony's nipples one time.
yeah.
Oh,
Get the counter up.
This isn't the
I
first
just was like
time
gonna
we've
say, I
done
like that you put a 1 on there.
what's the over under on that? Like 3? That'll happen on the show?
Mentions? I have no idea. This is when I just been on for too long. And I have
You see how
no
they
idea
jumped
what
on
to
that
say with
fumble,
them.
Tony? Even though it wasn't a fumble, you see how he jumped on it?
yeah.
I was yelling at the Chargers players for not doing that the other night.
I agree, and they should have, and it would have been if they would have reviewed it. It would have been a turnover.
Carlos Hyde running the ball now.
What? DJ
I
Chark
know.
down? I didn't even know. That's a fly chain.
Adam
Dude.
Troutman
Yeah, he
got
got-
wheeled off.
Surgery on his finger.
Oh yeah,
He did Chark out till week
Adam
1.
Troutman has an ankle injury.
Oh, that's
In
not
this
Yeah,
good.
he was
game, he got
carded.
wheeled out.
He got carded, yeah.
He got wheeled on the locker room. It said.
Like right before we went live.
Oh
Yep.
no!
Yeah, everyone's favorite sleeper is now.
Well, that just
I
opens
don't
it
know. I
up
thought
for
he
Grant.
was more creative there.
Adam
opens it
Schefter
up for
tweeted
Grant.
that Darnell Henderson got injured as well.
Henderson got injured.
Yeah, he sprained his thumb.
Jones. Zay Jones looks really good.
I don't know. I like Jake
Oh.
Funk just for the name.
I do too.
Name value.
I also have a guy in my league who calls himself J Funk. He's a good friend of mine, but he's like 46 years old and spends way too much time on Bumble, and he still calls himself J Funk. Like let's just go with Jason. Let's be an adult.
The
here.
older you get, the better the nickname Funk is for you. That's just how I kind of feel.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? For like hygiene reasons, like, you know.
I agree. Yeah, how's the funk doing? And they're not quite sure if you're talking about the name or like a toenail fungus that he's just like dealing with.
Jay Funk's a legend though, so Jay
Yeah,
Funk,
you
if you're
remember
watching,
him.
Get in here, please.
And this was sponsored by Tough Acton Acton. If you've got athletes, but go ahead and get some Tough Acton Acton. Boom.
There it is.
Yep. That was for Boda,
that-
actually. He called me. He said that he liked the dumb ad stuff. Oh, come on, man. Let him catch it. I feel like these people don't care about my fantasy teams, you know?
They don't care about your fantasy teams.
Wait, Mike, I have a quick question for you.
I have an answer.
Ooh.
CM Punk, thoughts?
I'm excited. I'm gonna watch AEW. I'm excited. It's the first time I'm watch wrestling since I was a child, so hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, I'm a big CM Punk fan. He's kind of like when I was a teenager, like a young teenager. Punk's main run was going on, and his whole arguments with Vince McMahon and everything. That
Oh,
was
the
the
pipe
best
bomb.
thing going on. Yeah, the pipe bomb. That was the best thing going on in wrestling at the time. So soft spot in my heart. My wife had no idea he was returning and had coincidentally worn my old CM Punk shirt that day. It was like a sign or something speaking to me.
The Great Magnet.
Yeah.
Is this the same CM Punk who like tried his hand at MMA fighting?
UFC.
Are they the
Yep.
same?
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
don't talk about that. We don't talk
don't.
about it. That never
It's the
happened.
same human,
Never
not the
happened.
same person.
I get it.
Yeah, his
All right.
character is CM
Yeah, same
Punk. That
character,
was
not same
Phil
person.
Brooks, who cannot fight at that level at least. He probably kicked
Marketing's important. That's why.
Wasn't he on a reality show too?
I'm not
Wasn't he on
sure.
like a Pros versus Joes?
Oh, that would be cool.
That's not good.
I swear I think he was. I remember there's a clip of someone ripping him apart.
Yeah.
What's
He might have
Pros
been.
for?
I could have told him that.
I'll look it up. I'll get back to you
But,
guys.
Oh, no,
He
I'm
did-
just saying. He should have never done
He's
that.
already corrected me on where Chad Henney's playing football this year, so he's on a roll tonight. Bodo came with facts.
MTV's The Challenge Champs versus Pros.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And this is
for
where
me.
I
this
have
is where he
never
got his
heard of
start.
him a day before in my life.
Trevor, slide, bro. Slide.
Do 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 do.
I actually watched SummerSlam on Saturday. It was the first pay-per-view I watched in years.
Were you happy about it?
Oh,
It was.
I heard a lot of mixed reviews.
There,
He's
like
fine. You just
it
don't want
was.
those bodies.
Bianca Belair. Tell him about Bianca
Yeah.
Belair, Single Sports. We talked about this
Oh.
earlier. Tell him about
It gets
my
me-
favorite
It
wrestler.
just gets me so aggravated.
Bianca Belair. Tell them what happened. They might not know. I'll tell them.
Wait, was she the one who was
I don't
part of
know.
the Becky Lynch?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Came into like
So
3 seconds
pretty
and
much
won the
Bianca
belt.
Belair is the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Becky Lynch came back. They had a 10-second match. Becky Lynch hit her with what looked like a rock bottom, covered her, and the match was over in 10 seconds. Mind you, Bianca Belair had the title since WrestleMania, so it's been like 4 months, and they've built her up as this like really strong character, and then they had her lose in 10 seconds to what looked like a bootleg rock bottom.
This
So-
is why.
so-
That's why
I stopped
AEW is
watching.
winning.
Yeah, that's why I stopped watching WWE, because like that works if like they have in mind what their demographic is now. That works for 10-year-old kids, but for us adults, we're like, what the hell? Why did you do this 7-month-long storyline to get Goldberg squashed by somebody? Like, what was the whole point of the whole buildup?
Don't get me
I got-
started on Goldberg. Oh my Lord.
What was the point of the
Well,
whole
I
buildup?
seen. I don't know, same old sports seen it, but I seen the Royal Rumble where Bianca Belair got her big pop or whatever. She went through like 30 other women and she was just dominating everybody. It was just like insane. It was like the best Royal Rumble I've seen in a long time. And then she like wins the championship. She does all that stuff, and then she loses. And I was telling same old sports, like I think that is really what's gonna get people to really watch, because now people are like super upset or like super happy. No one's in the middle about this. No, I mean I don't really watch WWE like that, and I was feeling some type of way about it. So like everyone who's watching is so upset or so excited. It's like Floyd Mayweather. It's the same. Like people, I love. He's my favorite boxer of all time, and a bunch of people hate him. So they watch every single one of his fights because you either love him or you hate him, and that's what gets people to watch. The same thing with what we got in the NBA going on right now. The NFL is probably the only sport that can manage without this tactic, in my opinion, really, in the major sports. Yeah, that's what I thought of too when I was thinking of that earlier with same old sports. But yeah, Tom Brady's so good. You can't hate Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get you. People do hate him.
There's a lot of
I
people
was
who
just
don't
gonna
like Tom
say
Brady.
right here, my hands in there.
Praying on this man's demise.
I need 2 hands to talk about Tom Brady, Tony.
Oh.
I don't need 1 hand. I need 2.
What I need from Tom Brady is for him to just go full time into social media, because he crushes it in that. I love all the stuff he's putting out. I'm tired of seeing him on another Super Bowl roster. Like, it's been 2 decades of Super Bowl rosters in New England, and now we are seeing the same thing in Tampa Bay. I'm over it.
Look, Tony. I'm going to tell you what
Oh,
a
man.
mentor of mine told me when I was coming up. He said, if you want to trust the person as an athlete, or you want to like a player as an athlete, just look him straight in the fingers, and that's how you know if he's good or not. And Tom Brady passed that eye test for me. So I like Tom Brady. I loved him since I was a kid. I love him until the day he retires and after. Dig him up.
Tony,
When he's
you're
80, he dies.
you're witnessing human history at this point. This is not just like NFL history. He is defying physics. He is defying natural laws that have been laid out, and you have the audacity to prey on his demise. I want this to go forever. I want to be able to tell my
So he's
grandkids.
55.
Yeah, I witnessed Tom Brady play until he was 55 years
Look,
old and win
look,
3 more
Tony,
Super Bowls after 50.
Because Tony's a little older than us, a little bit, just a little bit. But Tony, look, I'm gonna tell you something. When I was coming up, Well, when I was coming up, my biggest regret, I remember being a kid, and I was like, I wish I was born like to see Michael Jordan play basketball. Like I always wanted to see that. Like I hear all these things about Michael Jordan. I was like, I wish I could see. And then Tom Brady comes, and I'm like, I got to see Tom Brady play football, which is the equivalent, if not maybe, I'm not gonna say it's better, but the equivalent of watching Michael Jordan play basketball.
So I saw Michael Jordan play, obviously, not in real life, but my brother has offered me one of his season tickets for Rams Bucks week 3 or whatever this year. So I'm going to go get to see Tom Brady in real life for the first time, and I am going to boo as loud as I possibly can every time he drops back for a pass. And this is, you guys say, oh, just sit back and enjoy history, and when somebody's ruining all your sporting events because the event seems like it's already an end before you get there. Like in Super Bowls, like I thought they were going to crush the Eagles. Thank you. Those games against the Giants. Thank you, Giants. But all the other ones, like I remember cheering for Tom Brady in the greatest show on turf when they played the Rams, and they were like 2 touchdown dogs in those games. And I was like, oh, come on, give it to the upstart Patriots, because the Packers had just crushed them in 1996. Brett Favre, little guy right there, won a Super Bowl against the Patriots. But I remember liking them, thinking, oh, this will be good. Let them get a Super Bowl. And then it was the same thing for 20 years.
And then 5 more came after.
And I'm over it.
I love it. Let's keep getting it. Because like the thing is like people slam, like I like LeBron James a lot. And people will always say, and I'll say it, like his finals record is terrible. You can't put him top 3, top 5 all time purely because of his final record. Then you look at Tom Brady, look at his Super Bowl record. Like that is just greatness. Like that's what Michael Jordan 6-0 in the finals. Tom Brady 7-10 now in the Super Bowl. Like that's what greatness is, and that's why we watch sports. I don't watch sports to see mediocre players and people be mediocre. I could do that. Go to a high school game or something for that.
I already tell that I don't like you, and I'm probably not going to like you.
This sounds like a classic.
You are saying that to a Browns fan in New England. So
this sounds like a classic case of the hate us because they ain't us itis is what it sounds.
Never
like.
been a Braves fan, but yeah, you're right, Mike.
If he was on the Chargers, you'd love him, Tony.
Timeout. Mute all these other microphones. A Browns fan? This is a good year for you.
We go over this anytime I talk about the Browns in your comments. And you're like, oh, Bo is a Patriots fan. I'm like, no, I'm not.
You should claim that, though. You should claim that. I would definitely claim that.
I remember you saying something about in a video, you were talking about your history and you said, I'm from Boston, but I moved to Tampa and now I'm back in Boston. How do you become a Browns fan? So that my mind will cement this forever.
Okay. So I've always been more of a college football fan. And I was like infatuated with these players like Brady Quinn who were coming out. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to be great. Not. Colt McCoy. Flop. Like repeatedly. But like one of them, I remember Johnny Manziel. I was like, oh my God, like I think Johnny Manziel is going to be great. And up until that point, it was kind of like your dad sat you in front of a TV and it's like, here you go, watch the Patriots. I'm like, okay, cool. And it's like, awesome, but like as I grew up, I realized I didn't care about the Patriots playing. I just got bored watching them and just didn't enjoy the style of football they played. And watching Johnny Manziel, watching him play with the Browns, it was so unbelievably bad that it was like entertaining. And then connecting that back through college football, like I remember them drafting Deshaun Kaiser and being like, all right, let's go. Like, let's see what actually happens this year. Like I have full faith in Deshaun Kaiser. That was the 0-16 year. In every single game, I was like trying to justify matchups and like why it was going to happen, whatever. That was 2017. And I think that was like the first full year I was like, I'm all in on the Browns. Like I watched them for like my NFL team and I fell in love with like pro football again. So that's where that came from. And then they drafted one of my favorite players in Baker Mayfield and just to the moon now.
That's a term they call glutton for punishment, I believe is what that is called.
Yeah, I do in fact hate myself. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're born into like, because here's the thing in Boston, if you talk to anybody from Boston that's like my age, there was something that was like enjoyable about them because they were miserable. The Red Sox, like, we're never going to win anything. We're cursed, Tom Brady, all this stuff, right? The Patriots are bad.
Is that how everyone ends their sentences in Boston to you? It's just, Tom Brady dunks.
It's
donuts.
Yes, exactly.
While wearing a Larry Bird jersey.
Yes, everything. They finally stopped saying wicked, which was really happy. Even the Bruins were bad. Like they were just miserable sports fans to talk to. And then for whatever reason, it just clicked and they just went on a run winning everything. Like they win like WNBA championships, lacrosse. One of my friends is from Tingsboro, Mass, and will send me, hey, we won another championship. And like whatever it is, it'll be the most random thing ever. And he's like, we just won another championship. How can anybody call themselves Title
He's just
Town?
toxic.
Me?
No, he's talking about my friend who trolls me with
Boston
Sports Championships.
I thought we were cool. What the hell?
Oh no, not you.
No, they became insufferable fans to deal with. Shortly after the start of the 2000s, it just all happened.
So another connection to why I hate the Patriots is my first game I went to. One, Gillette Stadium's the worst stadium. Underrated worst stadium in the NFL, just from a perspective of trying to get in there and out of there. But that's a whole nother just like discussion. But this drunk dude, I was like freezing and I had like, I was tucked into a seat and I'm not like a small guy. Like at that point, I was probably like 13. I was like 5'10" or whatever. And I'm like tucked in and like I accidentally moved my elbow a little bit. He's like, kid, I will punch you. And this guy threatened a 13-year-old because I was frozen trying to like keep my hands in. And I was like, I hate this. Like, I hate the Patriots. Why am I getting yelled at by this dude? He smells like schnapps and he's going to punch me in the nose. Like, this sucks.
Oh, he was probably taking a bath, with his bookie or something, and you were just like who he was going to take it out on that day. Like he probably
Apparently.
owed somebody money. His Buick wasn't going to start in the parking lot after that. Like it was just going to be a really bad day for him.
Oh my god.
We also forget how miserable people are when they live in winter year round. Like it usually about January, February comes, you're about 3 months into snowfall and stuff like that. And they just start kind of getting angry for no reason. Not everybody.
That is
your
definitely
average.
New York. I can vouch for that. That's definitely New York.
Yeah, it's cold. You've been shut in the whole time. Now you're in public. You threaten,
Especially in the
17-year-old
subway.
kids.
Speaking of New York,
Can't relate to any of that.
Taysom Hill is not playing good, guys. That's the
No,
one thing I
he's-
got from that conversation.
He's
Hey,
not.
what are the odds? Oh, Taysom Hill. Oh no,
No,
what are the odds that Daniel Jones ever wins an MVP in his career? I feel like what are the odds of that?
Future on that.
Because that's a bet that I would take. That's a bet that I would actually take. That bet that 1 year, 8 years from now, I think Danny Dimes has potential. Like I feel like people treat him like it's so like hot and cold with him. Like we're just talking about like is he going to be benched for Mike Glennon like 10, 20 minutes ago? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just think that
I still think he's going to get benched for Mike Glennon.
I just think
I
that like
think-
there's so much hype for him. Was he like a 6th overall draft pick?
I think he was second.
Was he second?
No, he wasn't second. He definitely
I
wasn't
think
second.
he was
No.
six. I think he was 6th.
I think
He
he
was
was number
He was either
6.
3 or 6. He was either 3 or 6.
But does it?
So
I
is,
can't remember which one though.
Okay, there's many reasons why he'll never win one. Like let's just
You only need one, Tony. You only need one.
you only need one, but
He
very
was
rarely.
6th
Like,
overall.
it's the marketing that they like put in. Like they want Russell Wilson to complete a year. They want to give him there. Like Dimes is never going to be the face of the league. He would have to have the most miraculous year to even beat out the person that the NFL wants to promote and like wants to get. That would be the year that they're like, you know what? We haven't given it to a defensive player in a while. Let's give it to Aaron Donald or something like that. They wouldn't give it to him ever.
If Daniel Jones wins an MVP, whatever year it is, I will personally find Mike and I will make him apologize to Daniel Jones.
I still will not apologize. I will not apologize.
If Drew Lock ever wins an MVP, that will be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah,
If Drew
I'll
Lock
make
just
any,
ever
I'll make
manages
any
to
bet
win
on that one because that shit ain't happening. I'll tell you
Of
that.
the two of them,
Yeah,
Just
that's
the two
a
of
little too
those.
far.
it's definitely Drew Lock more than Danny Dimes. That's who I
I
can
mean, I
see
can
Drew
see it.
Lock.
Drew Lock has the arm talent to do it.
But
Danny Dimes.
When I came on this roundtable, discussions I did not expect were MVP race, Drew Lock versus Danny Dimes.
Yes.
Stuff
And
you only
yes,
get here.
No, definitely.
Warzone.
Like, if you woke me up in 10 years and said Danny Dimes just won the MVP of the NFL.
name of Zeus's butthole.
My mind would be shattered if that was the case. I would just be like, it didn't happen. It never couldn't happen. Could not
It's
happen.
possible.
All right.
James Robinson is an absolute beast. Let's just put it into perspective real quick for Daniel Jones to win the MVP. Last year's MVP scored 51 touchdowns total. Daniel Jones, I don't think scored half of that.
14, I think. 14 touchdowns left.
So,
I don't think he has
not even a
51
third.
touchdowns combined passing and running in his career.
I don't think so either.
It ain't gonna happen.
That's not. I'm being honest. Like I just don't think that those numbers add up.
Mike Herbert. I see Herbert winning an MVP in his career. Can we
Yeah.
at least get that? I know
Yeah,
I get a yes from you.
free.
Yes.
Tony? All right.
Pandering.
All right, cool. Nah, 'cause I like Herbert. I think Herbert is an underrated quarterback. I like Herbert. I want to give him that. I think Russell Wilson will win before it's all over. Hopefully. Actually, I don't know if Russell will win. I want him so badly to win.
Russell
one.
Wilson needs to
Brett Favre.
complete a year.
He does. But
That was a good take.
but still, I love
So?
Russell Wilson. So I don't know if he'll win one, but I want him to win one. But I think Herbert will actually win one. There's a difference.
Fel K's had this comment since we were talking about 5 other things. So Fel K's keeping it 1,200. He wants to know, where does Steph rank in the NBA right now? Right meow.
Right
Top
now,
3.
No,
Top
8 to 11 in my. I'm having
8 to 11. Whoa.
There's too many good players right now.
I just opened.
You got to think about Kawhi. You got to think about Giannis. You got to think. You know what I'm saying? Like
Kawhi.
You take Steph.
He's better than Kawhi. He's better than Giannis.
Basketball.
He's
Steph
better
Curry,
than Luka. He's
put this
better
in perspective. Put this in perspective, Steph Curry. Steph Curry needed, and I said it, he had one Cinderella run for the championship, and I get that. He needed the best player on the planet to win another championship.
KD
Kevin Durant.
him.
Their Cinderella run won the most games ever won by a team in the history of the NBA. But yeah,
that's the year they didn't win it. The year before that they won it.
I consider their entire time together as their Cinderella run.
The championship is in 73-9.
Yeah, but I remember I love Klay Thompson, I love Curry, I love Draymond's one of my favorite players. But when they came out for a while, people like Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, people didn't even expect that much out of them. And I like the Warriors. I'm from Bakersfield. The Warriors and the Lakers are the two teams I kind of vie with. You can throw the Kings in there and the Clippers if you want. But so I love the Warriors. But I, as a person who likes the Warriors, didn't expect them to win a championship that year. They won it. The next year, I was like, okay, let's win a championship this year. They didn't win it. We got KD. KD, the greatest player. I think KD's my number one. I think he's been my number one, you know what I'm saying, since 2017, since LeBron kind of started falling off. So I think you can't put Curry this year.
Wait, LeBron fell off after 2017?
From number one. He fell from number one. He's still top 10 for me. I probably have him in that.
2018 LeBron might be the best basketball player I've ever seen with my two eyes.
J-Fly.
I don't know.
Out of that whole thing, all I got was how sorry I feel for you.
Wait, am I getting years wrong?
Not because of the LeBron James or the Steph Curry take, but I feel sorry for you because you share a hometown with Joe Morley. That must suck.
Yeah, Bakersfield.
Like if I saw him at the Walmart, I would leave, I would get in my car, and I would just drive, and I would just keep driving until I ran out of gas.
Bakersfield. So Bakersfield's a city that you'll see when you're going to like San Francisco. If you're driving up to San Francisco,
yeah, lots of
and you'll need gas or something. You'll be like, oh, there's a gas station here in Bakersfield. You're like, no, keep driving. We'll hit Modesto or Fresno or something pretty soon.
Yeah, and you guys don't have like any excuses because Palm Springs is in the desert and it's kind of like on the way to everything, and that place is pretty cool. So Bakersfield needs to step their game up.
Let's build a casino or something. I think we have a really bad one in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
No one goes.
Yeah.
No one goes.
Lights. Host a fair. I don't know.
goes.
Something.
They have a fair. It's just dirt.
Wait, how big is Bakersfield?
It's actually getting bigger, though. It's actually like they call it Baby Compton's the last thing I heard. It's getting bigger. It's like
Baby Compton.
Yeah, from my inside sources in Bakersfield, it's getting bigger. Is what I'm saying. It's getting like more city. It's getting like it used to be just dirt. I heard. Now it's getting like more city. They got like a few malls, and shopping centers.
Look at Boda. He's like, what the hell?
I got nothing to add here. I'm just chilling. I'm on the East Coast.
You can't say baby downtown LA because they don't got nothing to go resemble that. So Compton's the next best thing, I guess.
Anyways,
baby West Covina. But anyway,
Jay, you put him at what? You said 8. Where do you put him at? Say
I'll put him at 8. Yep,
8.
I say he's top 3.
Ooh, that's a big difference. Boda, you're like in the middle, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of living in like the 4-5 range. I've been trying to do the math in my head, and I that's kind of where I'm living, Steph.
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good about anything 7 to 1. Like anywhere in there, I could make arguments for all of it, and I would really need to like sit down and have arguments with myself about it. But it feels high to put him at 3 because then I would say that his team is like a front runner to win a title next year, and I don't see that. I don't see the Warriors being that. I don't know. Well, can't we just talk about Chris Middleton? Like, why do you have to bring up difficult conversations like this?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Like, here's my 7 right here that for sure I have over Curry, and I know there's probably more. But Luka, Kawhi, Giannis, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Nikola Jokic. Off the top of my head, those are 7 players I have Curry that I think I really can't make an argument to put him in my top 7. And then you got LeBron James still
taking him over Harden.
Yeah, it's tough. It is because you got other players that I think are.
I just want to copy
like Embiid.
I'm just gonna go with Tony's take as my take. I'm just copying him because he's more. How do I put it? I'm gonna put it gently. Wise. Tony's wise, the wisest one in the room. So I'm gonna go with his.
Oh.
No, I'll give that. You guys are way more basketball fluent than I.
But that feels good. Like anywhere in there, because it is still Steph Curry. There is a bunch of championships there. He can shoot the three. But like when you say top three, to me that means like, oh, you're top three. Your team has a chance to win the NBA Finals. Okay, there we go. Basketball. It's not even basketball talk. We didn't even talk about the Olympics. This is the last thing. I want to go out on this because I got to go cook dinner and make sure my kids have not called the social services department on me. But did the Olympics just end and like we didn't like nobody cares, nobody talked about it? Like when I was younger, weren't the Olympics like a thing for me? Like for me, they were. Like you watched the closing ceremonies and it was just like it was an event. Like you had to see these major things. And then all of a sudden I feel like I just looked up and the Olympics were over. And I don't remember watching anything.
Well, I don't know how it worked for you guys time-wise, but all the games were at like 4 a.m. for us on the East Coast. Like there was one thing I got to watch, and it was like, as I'm a women's soccer fan, like I watched the women's national team at like 7 a.m. I was like, cool. What do I do now?
All the games are so early. I caught the highlights.
Oh, I like that theory of like it just ends and you're like, well, okay.
Well, that was the other thing. Is like the women's team wasn't good this year, so it was like, okay. I woke up when we lost. I woke up when we lost. So I'm like, all right. I'm glad I watched this. I'm glad I set my alarm.
You were like, things to do today. Women's soccer. Check. I have nothing else.
I will say that.
Honestly.
Social media did ruin some stuff. Like I'd wake up and before I could even, the replay would play here. It would already be on like Twitter, what the event, how it had finished or something. It would be in my timeline. And so like, why am I going to watch a replay of something I already know? That's the bad thing about not being able to watch sports in real time. Come on, Lawrence.
Yeah, is he okay? That was bad. That was two in a row that were really, really bad. Tony, you were talking about your kids and how they need to be fed and everything. Where are you keeping these children? You in like a dungeon or something? You got a brick wall behind you? What's going on there?
It's good for marketing.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't.
How
say,
did you get the war?
I didn't say you could touch. Sorry, I had to do some quick parenting real quick. Yes, that's your bowl of water. Okay, this has been a total, complete wild card of a roundtable. I should have come more prepared.
That's kind of the point.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. James from Boda Sports, go and check him out. Always putting out amazing stuff on Instagram. You're everywhere, right? We were on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
we're on. You know what I love about the TikTok, which I haven't talked to you about, is when you do these.
I'll let you call it the TikTok, by the way. Just your face like incredibly.
Hold on, you went from saying Tony wasn't that much older to us and making fun of him for saying the TikTok.
Now he just said the TikTok. Now it just throws it way out. Like.
And our closing segments are brought to you by Just for Men. Comb it in. Get rid of those grays. When you do the guess the player things, right? When you do the video version of it, it's easier for me to have the mental picture than when I see just like a blacked out image, because then I'm like trying to trace the player in the uniform. But when you give the 3 hints, that's a fun thing on the Boda Sports TikTok. Is that good? Is that better, Jay? SOS?
Yeah, that's a way better plug than I would have done. So
I like that. I like that one. It's a good reason to go there. Like, what do we got? Anything that I need to say to get out of here? SOS on Instagram, coming out with hot takes every day.
I think we plugged everything in the previous show. So if you guys were tuned into that, you already got what's coming up throughout the week. But I will say this. www.warzonesportsnetwork.com. I heard, it's a rumor, you're gonna have to go confirm it, has blogs, has bonus content, has merchandise, has all of the above and all the Warzone Sports Network you need.
Everything you could ever want.
Head to that website and check it out. It's a lot of fun. You put a lot of work into it. So we appreciate everyone that goes and checks it out. I think that's it. Same old sports. You want to drop your handle real quick before we hit this?
Same old sports on everything. Yeah, YouTube, same old sports, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Even though I don't really use Twitter, and yeah, it's basically everything.
J Fly, you want people to follow you?
Yeah, Jay, just like it's spelled down there, FLY23 on everything as well.
With the F to the L to the Y. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's roundtable. It's supposed to be random topics. It was random topics. I hope you're satisfied.
Let's get ready to rumble. Step into the